as professional coaches, how do we work with complexity? And how do we also take care of ourselves and manage client expectations, manage our own expectations, look at sort of the both and of the coaching engagement of meeting an objective and also staying authentic and in relationship with that client. Just from a real simple standpoint, ICF really defines mentoring as to being applicable to your skills. So really understanding those 11 core competencies, and are you able to use your skills of coaching regardless of where you got trained and or how long you've been coaching for, so that you can showcase those different competencies at those ACC, PCC, and MCC sort of levels. And we would say from a learning frame that that's about developing your competency or your capability. So what's the skill? How do you apply it? When you start working much more deeply with the who, and or you've been coaching for a while, what you start noticing is patterns in, kind of habits, the way that you like to work, things that are working well for you, things you need to improve upon, when you know that you're not bringing your best self to coaching, when you start getting stale in coaching, when you may hit some walls, barriers, person has difficulty in working with you. You get into issues in three-way contracting with the client sponsor, the organizational shift isn't happening if you're working at a larger scale, what have you. And that's really where supervision comes into its own, because it works on capacity. So what is your ability to be able to impact change with that client system, so to speak? So if you're working as a life coach, that might be in a family environment. If you're working with schools, that might be in the education system. It might be with that person, that teacher, that principal, the head of school, whatever it is. If you're working in the corporate environment or in a not-for-profit, what have you, then you might have multiple layers that you're working in throughout that system as well, which I've already talked about. So really that idea of super, about making it broader and putting the vision on the different aspects within that system, is what supervision is about. One of the things that I really encourage you to think about as coaches, and what you think about today, is, what is the level of listening that I'm doing with my clients? And what am I really listening for? And if you don't already, what kind of reflective practice do you need in order to support that level of listening? Because that's really what gets you to that next level of capability into capacity. Just that one thing is the reflective practice, and or what are you listening for?